Alrighty, Kate. Go ahead and introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Kate Baker, 9th and 12th grade English teacher at Southern Regional, and I like all things ed tech.
And I did specifically ask her to make it a broad sense, not just ed tech. So.
I love all ed tech.
We only have 2 education majors in here, so we are going to keep it broad here. So go ahead, Kate.
What?
And go.
Okay.
Show them slides.
Okay. So actually, I want to show 2 things, and they're actually the same kind of concept. Let me just pull up the screen share. So really cool in slides is that you can link to different different slides. Like it's very freeing to not be so stuck in the. Hold on. Whoops. There we go. Wait. Did I just exit that out?
Yeah.
I did.
Hey, your lower third's working now.
Make Melissa go first. You got me all flustered.
You were supposed to go first.
No, I thought she was going first, and I was.
I thought you were going first because you had to back to school night, and I thought you had to leave early.
Oh, I just have to be done by 6. Make her go first. I'm not messing around.
Melissa go.
I heard you were going first. No, it's all right. All right, so I guess I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Melissa Murphy. I am a 7th and 8th grade math teacher from Belmar Elementary School. I am a Google certified teacher and a Google education trainer. I went to London last year for the Google Teacher Academy, and when I got back, I decided to go for the course to become a trainer. And I'm also the 2014-2015 Monmouth County Teacher of the Year.
Yay!
So I'm going to be showing you a couple extensions that I've found to be helpful just in my everyday life, things that I use pretty often. So I'm going to pull up the screen share here.
Well, let's tell them first what an extension is.
We're going to look at first a couple extensions that are going to help with reading, different applications. So we're going to look at something like you had to read something on CNN or a different website for class one day, some different things that you could do to make that experience easier on yourself. So the first one that we're going to look at is called readability, and this kind of just takes all of the extra, there's my cat, this just kind of takes all the extra things out of the screen so that you can focus just on the reading itself. So it's called Readability Redo, and when I click on it, yes, I know, I'm sharing. When you click on it, it should take away, it takes away some of that extraneous information so that you can just focus on the text of the article. You know, and there's always things popping up everywhere, so this just makes life a little bit easier when you're looking at those sorts of things. In addition to that, something to help when you're looking for some sort of a summary of an article that you have to read, you know, if you're looking at one that's multiple pages, there's a good app extension called Too Long Didn't Read, TLDR, and that will open up. It has a cute little mascot that's a sloth, and it'll open up and let you have a summary of the article, and you can choose the length of the summary. So they have a short summary, medium summary, a long summary, and you can look back at the original article if need be. So that's TLDR, or Too Long Didn't Read. I'm going to see what else I have going on here as far as reading apps. One that I like, and you know, it's not for everybody, but this is called Beeline Reader, and I find, especially when I'm reading on the computer, sometimes I lose track of my place. I'm skimming and I can't really see you know, where I left off. So Beeline Reader takes the lines of text and can change the color, and actually I think, yeah, it'll go back to the original article here. And it puts it in like sort of a color gradient, so that way it's easier to track with your reading, you know, where you left off. So hopefully it'll go. Running a little slow right now. But that is called Beeline Reader. Let's see if it'll work. No, not Crux Lite.
It never works when you need it to.
I know. This is technology. This is what we're used to. Well, anyway, I can probably just open up the app itself. So this will just give you a little bit of an example of what it looks like. So when you have the plugin installed, if you see the color of the text right here, it makes it faster because you can just look at the gradient line by line and make sure that you don't repeat anything. So I use that when I'm reading something lengthy just because it's easier on the eyes. Now I'm going to take you to a couple apps that help if you're like me and you have 300 tabs open at all times. So the first one is Tab Scissors and Tab Glue. So if there are a few tabs that you need to be looking at, simultaneously to compare to articles or anything like that, Tab Scissors and Tab Glue can separate your tabs so that you can be looking at two things at the same time. So that's Tab Scissors, and then Tab Glue just sticks them back together. And actually, I did get that one from Kate Baker, so thanks, Kate. Another one, oh, did I just close it out? Yeah, everything just went back together.
There's the cat.
Sorry, yes. Hi, Sadie. I know, you're adorable. Everybody loves you. I knew she'd come in eventually. Let me open up a new window here. Okay, go back to CNN. Another one that's pretty much like that is called Split Screen. The nice thing about Split Screen is that you can choose how you want your screen to look. So you can have two URL pages open at the same time, just like you did with the Tab Scissors and Tab Glue if you wanted to. So you can be looking at two different articles. But what I like about it is the notepad. So if there's, you need to be taking notes while you're reading a website, you can open a website on one side for an article, and then you can type notes on this side.
Hold on, you're not screen sharing.
Oh, I'm not? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I have to put it back on, I guess. Am I good?
Yes.
All right. So you can be on, whatever you have to read for class, and you can be over here taking notes about the article, and it will automatically save the notes for you in this extra space over here, so you can put them into another app if you wanted to when you're finished. You can put them back into Google Docs, copy and paste them out. So that's a good one if you need to be taking notes, or you can just use it as another URL. You can have two different websites going at the same time. Another couple that are for those who have a bunch of tabs open are Tab Cloud and OneTab. So Tab Cloud, I was doing some research yesterday on some things for school, and I found like 7 or 8 different sources, but I didn't want to lose them. So Tab Cloud will save any tabs that you have open, and you can name it. You can give it a name like, I'm doing research on a certain topic, and it'll save all of those tabs that you have open together, so you can open them back up when you need to get back to them. Similar is OneTab, and OneTab is good if you're running out of memory, and because of how many tabs you have open, it'll just take everything that you have open and put it into one screen. So if I had 12 tabs open here, it would be all in one place, and that way I can still get back to what I was looking at, but it's going to take up less room.
I got that one.
That's a good one.
Did you guys see what she just did there? So
I can demonstrate again.
Have 4 or 5 different websites open at once. You just click one button and it shrinks it down to that one screen, so you can see everything all on.
And then you can expand it again once you one-tab it. You can restore all, And you can also share it as a web page. So, you know, if somebody else has to be looking at the same things you're doing research on, you can just send this as one web page rather than sending them every single website that you have open. That's a good one. And then just a couple that I like. Shorten Me. If you need to, you know, you're looking at a website or an article for class, you need to be able to share it with people rather than sending them the entire link. You can use Shorten Me, and it'll shorten it to a goo.gol extension, and it'll also give you a QR code. So you can use the QR code or the shortener here and just copy it to your clipboard.
That might be good for your Twitter streams when you put them out.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one.
Huge links, you just hit one button and it'll do it for you.
Yep. Another one that I use pretty much all the time is called Awesome Screenshot. So they give you a couple different options as far as what you want to save on the screen. You can capture what's visible, you can capture a selected area, or the entire page. So, you know, this page on CNN obviously is going to go down further than my screen will allow me to see, but I can save the entire image of the entire screen. You notice it's scanning it all the way down to the bottom, and then it'll open it in a separate window, and it is the entire page rather than just what was visible. So that's really nice. And you can also annotate right on here. You can draw and add picture, text, and whatever you need to do right on the screen. And once you do take your screenshot, if you decide, you know, you only want a piece of it, you can crop from there. And then you can save it. Once you hit done, it'll give you some options as far as where you want to save it. And it does connect right to your Google Drive, which is really nice. So that is Amazing Screenshot. Similar to that is TechSmith Snagit. Snagit is just Snagit, you're just going to take a part of a page that you want to save. You just drag. You can do the region, or you can do scrolling. And it also is a screencasting app. So if you wanted to, you know, record yourself demonstrating something on a screen similar to this, you could use that as screencasting. You want to go to Kate, and then I can come up again if there's time?
Yeah, sure. Kate, are you actually ready this time, or
Shut up! I was ready last time. I just lose things. You know?
I don't want to take over. All right, let me turn off the screen share here. All right.
But thanks for the shout out on the tab, scissors, and glue. I love that one.
That was all you.
And then like I have Awesome Screenshot. I have Goo, the URL shortener. I got Snagit. Like, so every single one you mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, there it is. There it is.
Exactly.
What I want to show everybody is just some different options. Like if you have to create PowerPoints or slides for any of your classes, it's really neat if you think about how to use it in a non-linear way. Like we're so used to like watching a PowerPoint and you go straight down the line here. You know, you go from slide 1 to slide 2, slide 3, 4, 5, etc. But what would be kind of neat, what is neat though, is that you can use hyperlinks inside of slides to choose your own adventure, or to have your participants, instead of being passive audience members, you could actually engage them and have them like go on an adventure with your slides. So here I have pick one, A, B, or C, but if you notice I only have the hyperlinks so far loaded for C. And when you click on it, what it will do is it will take you to slide C, which is neat. Let's pick another. Somebody pick a letter, A or D?
D. D.
D. So when you click on that, guess where you go? Option D. So it's really simple and easy to do it, and it's no different than like hyperlinking to something on the web. You're just doing links inside of this. So what you do is you highlight the text that you want to create the link, go up to More, select Link, and then let me maximize my screen. Then you want to pick slides in this presentation, and scroll down to that particular slide that you want. Click apply, and it's done. And then when you go there it is, which is nice. And then so it makes it more engaging, and it's not so linear, so you can give your people choices. So that's one of my favorite things to do with slides, is just to try to do it in a non-linear fashion. Now, similar to that, have you guys ever tried using the table of contents in a Google Doc? Hello?
No.
Okay, good. So if you're typing up a lot of notes for class, this is one of my favorite things. So if you're typing up a lot of notes for class, you don't want to open up, like, have 10 files for your statistics class. Like, start one document and just keep notes. But then you also don't want to have a document that, like, is so big. Let me insert some page breaks here. That, like, you got to scroll through everything to get to it. So what this does, the table of contents, is it puts hyperlinks inside your document, and it will take you to that spot. So you don't actually have to physically scroll through the document to get where you're going. Now, how do you create that? So, super easy. Come down to where you want to put it in, and you're up here in the formatting where it says normal text for styles. You're going to pick heading and type in whatever your heading, your heading is, and then whatever your notes are. And then up at the top, because I did heading, watch this. I refresh, and boom, it appears. Now, the first step to get this in, get the table of contents totally in, is you have to go up to Insert. Can you guess? All the way down to the bottom. Hello, you guys alive? And then it automatically creates it. Anytime that you have a heading, it automatically puts it into that box. See what happened there? That was pretty cool. And then, all right, so maybe you're not excited about that, but and maybe you're tired about fonts. Watch this. So if you go down here and you can do this in slides and in docs. If you go down here, see where it says more fonts? If you click on that, get ready. You're going to be wowed. You're going to be like, wow, all the fonts at my fingertips. You just keep scrolling down, and you think you get to the bottom, right? Oh, no, look at that. Did you see it jump right there? At the bottom. Boom, there's more. Look at all the fonts. There's so many fun fonts. There's nothing you couldn't do. You see what I did there? And that's the same thing in slides, too. If you go up to, when you're in a text box, see, there it is again, same notion. You can do more fonts and select it. And then what's really cool is, as you scroll through all of them, you see one you really like. Oh, choose the bubblegum. You click on it, and it adds it over to your fonts. And then it will be any time you go to any of Google's, docs or slides, it will be there. See, there's Bubblegum Sans. Watch this. You go back. It should be here. It should be here, but it's not yet.
Gonna make a liar out of you.
I know, it's making a liar out of me. We added it, and then it should appear. It should appear in both places, because see, I got permanent marker. That was definitely one I added. Maybe you have to wait for it. I got permanent marker, and then when you go over here, there's my permanent marker too. So those are just two little things to jazz up your documents and your slides.
Yeah, that cat.
She's getting mauled by a cat over there.
She is getting mauled by a cat. Look at that.
I just have to send one quick invite to Dave Malone. He is going to join us from California.
Ooh. Was that good? Do you guys have any questions?
Did she go through it fast enough for you?
How do you actually get an extension?
That's a good question, Melissa. You want to answer that?
Absolutely. So,
First of all, you need Chrome.
yes, you do.
Yeah, just saying that is a big precursor for that.
Okay.
Yes. And I was very I came to Stockton about a month ago, and I was trying to use stuff, and I couldn't get on Chrome, and I was freaking out. So, but you do need Google Chrome to get into any sort of extension. So let me just go back to screen share here. So all of the apps and extensions are available in the Google kind of like web store. There's a Chrome web store. So if you just Google it, Chrome web store. If you have a Chromebook like I do, there's an apps button that takes you to the store. But if you just go on Google and go to the Chrome web store, you know, it'll give you, just like the Apple web store, it'll give you so many different options of, you know, what people have, and they have most of the same apps that, you know, your iTunes store would have. And there is a difference. You can have apps and you can have extensions. Extensions are added on to the browser itself. They, you know, they run in your browser. And there's apps just like you have like on an iPhone that are like independent. So when you come to the Google Chrome web store, you scroll down to the bottom and it'll give you extensions. And then they give you extensions, you know, by category. So depending on what you're looking for, you might be able to find something in here. And then if you know what you're looking for, like if you wanted to get the TLDR one that we talked about, it has the search, and you can find it here as well.
This is all free?
Yes. Well, there are extensions that you have to pay for, but you see the ones on the right, they're all safe. They're free.
Yeah. So it'll let you know whether it's free or not. But most of the extensions are free. Some will have like add-ons, just like you would on, you know, your iPhone. There's, you know, parts that you might have to pay for. But most apps and extensions are pretty much free.
Anybody have any questions?
I have a question for Kate.
Kate, we got a question.
Okay.
Is Google Slides and PowerPoint completely cross-compatible as far as the
Yes. Now you can copy some of the slides from PowerPoint into Google Slides, and you can upload it. So if you have a particular theme in PowerPoint and you upload it to and convert it to a Google Doc, you can use it. It does get a little funky, though. I will tell you this, that like your boxes for like pictures and your text may be moved, and it's not as pretty and clean. But I copy paste back and forth all the time. There's so many features in PowerPoint. You could spend hours upon hours inside PowerPoint. And that's kind of why I like slides, is because it's just nice and simple. You know, you can put animations in if you want. You can do some of the more common features that you find in PowerPoint. But yeah, they talk to each other, but they don't always play as nice as you would like. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you can also, Kate, can you bring up your screen real quick? Hey, Dave.
What do you want to see?
Just go into slides real quick.
Okay.
Just since you had it open. If you go up to, let me make this full screen for you guys. Can you see up there? All right. Get rid of the bar there. So if she goes to, go to File, Kate, and you see right there where it says Download As. It's kind of fuzzy over here, but so you can actually download your Google presentation as a PowerPoint.
Gentlemen,
Also, export an entire PDF.
I'm in contact with the other school.
You're typing up a document, you want to export it easily as a PDF, which normally on a PC you would have to pay for, but for free.
Yeah, and I think because Google Slides are simpler, when you download it into PowerPoint, now I'm on a Chromebook, so I'm not sure, we'll see how it goes, what it looks like when it opens up. I don't actually have PowerPoint on here, but because it's a simpler design, there shouldn't be too much difference between your Google Slide to PowerPoint. But I guarantee you, when you take a really rich document and you upload it to Google Drive, you will lose some of the functionality. If you notice too, now the icon has changed. So it's recognizing this file as a PowerPoint file instead of a slides file. And if you notice too, we lost a lot of the fun features up here that we did have in the toolbar over here. You see that?
Yeah. When she uploaded a PowerPoint and converted it, see how many features up the top in the bar there. Flip that back to her, see how many she lost. They're gone. Yeah.
Yeah, see, like background, layout, theme. When we come over to here, we can print, we can put it in a text box. Oh, we only get Arial, no more font.
So what you want to do is create your presentation in slides, and then if someone can't read it or they can't get to it, you can always just export it to a PowerPoint for them.
Yeah.
It's easier to do it that way than try to do it the reverse.
And Microsoft and Google purposely don't play nicely together, so you will always encounter some kind of glitch because each one wants you to stay with them and not the other. So, does that make sense?
And only recently when she showed you that she could upload a PowerPoint and then start editing it, before you couldn't even edit it. You could only view it. That part is kind of new within the last 3 months, I believe. So
you can download the Google Slides thing and make it into a
PowerPoint, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't show you PowerPoint here because I'm on my Chromebook. But if I were on my home laptop, then I could probably show you it. It looks the differences.
So let's say hi to Dave Malone. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Kyle, I'm gonna go. So Melissa, Dave. Hi, Dave. Bye, Dave. And hi, class, and bye, class. So.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you very much.
Hi, Kate.
So Dave's going to dazzle us with his Google knowledge, right, Dave?
I am. I don't even know why I'm here, but I was asked. I'm like Batman. I saw this thing.
Yeah.
People go up, and here I am.
Now, what we're doing, we're talking about different Google apps. This is an undergrad course, and it's not specifically for education majors, but we're just trying to show the different aspects of Google apps that pretty much anybody could use in their job or their major, or for their undergraduate career. So
okay.
We've gone over slides, documents. Are there any really good add-ons that you can recommend within Docs? I kind of showed them Autocrat real quick.
Yeah, let's see.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, you didn't do that at all. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. The thing that's nice about add-ons is they're kind of a historically they were scripts. Scripts were things that attached to spreadsheets, kind of automated some tasks. So add-ons, you lost some functionality, but you did add the ability to add add-ons to a word processing doc, which is kind of nice. Let's see if I can think of some decent ones off the top of my head. It seems odd and kind of lame, but they do have Avery labels, which is kind of nice.
No, that is actually handy in the office space, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make name tags for things. You have to make login cards for students. You're doing a civil mail merge. I don't know, seating placards. I mean, it seems like an odd thing, but when all your data and you're collecting data from a form into a spreadsheet, to be able to leverage that without having to go through Excel or a second or third project is kind of nice. So let's see if I can find. You definitely did put me on the spot.
That's all right. Melissa, do you want to? I mean, we can give you a few minutes. That's fine. We have time.
Yeah, let me.
Melissa, do you want to show your other extensions, or?
Sure, no problem.
I can do some extensions. Those are easier.
Well, you guys want to duke it out to the death? That's fine.
He gets extensions. I get add-ons.
Sorry, I guess I was here first, so.
Like I get Office and you get Google Docs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you are calling in from the furthest destination, so if you would like to show extensions.
No, it's all right. How about we do an extension off? You do one, then I'll do one. If you covered it, we'll move on.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, let me switch back here. I think the next one I wanted to show was, let's see. What do we do? Oh, pin it. I love Pinterest. I use it all the time, and this is a really cool extension that whatever's on your screen, you can pin to Pinterest. So let me just pull up some random whatever here. Go back to CNN like I had it, and basically it'll just take whatever's hanging on your screen there, pin it to your Pinterest board, and it'll give you the option of, where you want to pin it, all that kind of stuff. So if you're already using Pinterest, like I use all the time, just a really neat extension to use. And of course it's being slow, but it was working a second ago. Oh, there we go. So you can choose, whichever view you want, and then you just pin it to your Pinterest account. So that's Pin It.
Yeah, Taylor. Can you go back to that one view that you just had there?
Sure.
The screen with the pins?
Yep.
So she's on CNN, so she hit the Pin It. Because we can't see your drop-down menu on this side. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just going to kind of explain it. So this is pulling all the content from CNN, from that page.
So when she was on the Chrome store or whatever,
Mhm.
is that when you add the extension?
Yes, yeah, you'll search for Pin It, and that's where you'll get it.
Okay.
Then when she's on CNN, she used that extension, and it pulls out all the content from that particular page, and then she can choose which of that content from the page she wants to see.
And then it'll come up in a separate window.
What extensions have we done? Just Pinterest?
No. She showed TLDR.
TLDR.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask the class, because I want to see who took notes. Shout them out. Which ones did we cover?
Tab, scissors, tab, glue.
Tab, scissors, tab, glue.
Beeline reader.
Beeline reader.
Tab cloud.
Tab cloud.
Awesome screenshot.
Awesome screenshot.
Snag
Snag it.
it. Screencasting.
Screencast embed. That's
I
another
missed
extension.
that. Yeah, I missed
Yeah.
that one. I think that was.
And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right, and this was not an educational slant. It's more
Non-educational slant.
non-educational. Okay. Here we go. I'll just go with one or two, and then we'll go back and forth. Go back and forth. All right, let me share my screen.
Just think of this as an online unconference. Come on now.
Okay. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, now we can.
If I zoom in, does that zoom in, or does it not translate?
Yeah, it's zooming in, but you're zooming into our camera.
I know. Does that work?
My face getting ready.
Poor Taylor.
There. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably my most used extension. It's called Shortcuts for Google.
All right, come on.
Yeah, there's always one in the back. Sometimes there are three in the back. Always three in there. This one's really nice because when you find yourself in doing everything in a browser, you kind of find yourself going to the same place more than once, and you're doing multiple clicks. Like instead of clicking back, going back to Drive to try and find things, Shortcuts for Google essentially allows you to, I don't know if this will translate. Do you see the the drop-down menu? Does that
Yes.
show up?
Sorry.
Yeah?
There's a bit of a delay, but yes, yeah, it came
Okay.
up.
So this one I haven't really played with that much. Let me actually use another account.
Yeah, do you see how many accounts we have?
That's about half of them. Okay.
Half.
All right. What am I looking at? Too much stuff going on. All right.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So they can be like bookmarks, but it kind of, in essence, allows you to do kind of Google Apps specific bookmarks. So, for example, if I'm constantly going to my calendar, I don't have to navigate to Gmail or find that one button because Google likes to move buttons around a lot. So, what's nice about it is it's got a lot of features. So basically, any Google product is already in here. So if Blogger is my thing, I can, whoops.
Which some of you are using Blogger.
I can just drag and drop Blogger, and if I want it at the top, I can drag it to the top. And then next time I come up here, Blogger will be at the top. So it's a nice way to kind of personalize all those Google tools that you frequently go to, so you don't have to constantly worry about how to navigate back to it with the 4 or 5 steps that always get kind of annoying. Especially if you're doing things like classroom and control panel or stuff like that. I doubt you guys are administering a domain, but you know. But what's nice is you can actually even do custom shortcuts. So like if there's a class specific site,
Edmodo.
you can actually, you know, do it. Yeah, you could do bookmarks, but I never use bookmarks. It's just kind of like one extra weird click for me. And Edmodo will be in here. So for me, it's just it's.
You can do that for LiveBind.
You could do this with bookmarks, but again, it's kind of hard to get those URLs sometimes, and they change pretty frequently for Google tools. For me, I tend to find myself, this is my most used extension up here, but I'm kind of geeky. But again, you can personalize it.
I like that one. I've never seen that one. I'm definitely using that one because especially for my admin console, always trying to find it.
Yeah, for me, like to find my admin, this is definitely a geeky thing, and no one in the class is. Everyone's glossing over, so this is more for Kyle. But to go to the admin console, I always go through Gmail and click on the gear and then go that way. And I know there's a URL for it, but it's like I don't want to know what it is. And it's just nice to do that.
Come on, it's not that hard. Admin.google.com. Come on.
I don't want to type that. But it's just really nice because again, it could be your top 10 Google-related sites, and it's just always there and right next to your Omnibar. So it just makes life a lot easier.
Remember the other day I was showing you guys Google Scholar. So to get to Google Scholar, you kind of had to drill down to the more apps. So you could just use this and just put it right up the top.
Yeah. So instead of trying to like for that little waffle thing, that little grid, it's not there. So if you're in that habit of going to the waffle, you're like, okay, new tab, open Gmail, go to Mail. There's the waffle. Go down to more. I mean, I don't want to do that. It's so much easier just to go and just personalize it. So.
Yeah. Waffle. I like the waffle.
The waffle. Yeah, it's a little bit more warm and fuzzy. So, all right, that's my number one extension. Your turn.
All right. So let me go here. Screenshot. So let's see. What didn't I get to yet? Here's just a really easy, simple one, and this is, I use Post-its. I have them all over my desk all the time, but just a virtual Post-it sticky notes just pops up right on your screen, and you think of something right off the top of your head. You don't want to forget it. You can just sticky note it onto wherever you're typing, and it'll be there the next time you go to look for it. You can also
we can't see the drop down though.
Oh, you can't see the drop down. I'm sorry. But it does come up as a sticky note. You'll have to believe me. It'll just pop up on your screen that you can type into. You can't see it at all?
No, we just see everything behind, like as if you.
That's too bad. Well, it's just like a little yellow box that's taking up, the right quarter side of my screen. That's too bad that didn't work. Let me try to pull something else up then.
Just take an awesome screenshot of it and show us that.
I could. Why don't I do that? That's such a good idea.
I do have one once in a while.
And I guess I haven't typed this because this is from my my class from last year. I can tell by my notes. But it goes away when I put on because they're both extensions, so it won't let me. It won't even let me snag it. Darn. All right, but it's a good one. You should get it. Sticky notes. All right, I'm gonna turn it over because I gotta look for something else.
All right.
Dave's it.
All right, I'm laying down the gauntlet. Let's see. I don't mess around. Although I have too many accounts.
I'll show you guys about that when we're done.
Yeah, you can show them how to add multiple accounts in a browser. That's really nice. I don't even know where my Hangout is anymore. Where's my Hangout? I need my personal account. There it is. Hangout. All right, if you really want to geek out. Okay. In the chat window, I put in a short URL, if you want.
Let me exit full screen.
But it's also here if you guys want to write it down or... because I'm going to make it easy for you, I'm going to front load this.
Okay, can you guys see that? That's probably bigger on this screen.
If someone just writes that on the board,
Yeah, you see there?
one of those guys with the beard, write it down. All right, so this brings things full circle. So if you complete this form,
Sure, it's Cat.
you submit your email address. It'll use Autocrat to auto-generate a PDF with hyperlinks to about 50 Chrome extensions and apps and stuff like that. So you don't have to take notes, like I knew you guys were doing.
Some, yeah.
You guys write that down?
You got it? Everybody got it? Okay.
So here's my second favorite extension. Let's go. What do we got here? I'll just show you. I like. Let's see. Too many accounts. There. Oh, it's a different one. Too many accounts. I just saw it. I know it's there. This one. Right, this one. Extensity. So it's one of those things like you kind of get into extension overload. So for example, your Omnibar can be, you can actually have, it's almost like, if anyone remembers those old jokes about Microsoft Word, how it became all ribbons and bars and you had only about 2 inches to actually type your document. You can kind of get overload with app extensions or Chrome extensions and you've got no Omnibar left. And it seems silly to kind of clutter up your Omnibar if you're not using an extension very often. But you don't want to go through the steps of going to, I think you got to go what? Settings.
Yeah.
And extensions, and sort of toggle them on and off. So Extensify, Extensity allows you to turn them on and off on the fly. So if they're bolded, it means they're active. But like ad block for YouTube is off, but I can like toggle it on and off just by clicking. So I can turn off that one, turn on that, turn that on, turn that off. So it's a nice way to toggle them, and if you can kind of notice what's happening up here, it's altering my Omnibar. So I can turn them all off if I don't want it all cluttered. But I don't have to go through all the steps to turn them back on. So it's really nice. Like if you start using a lot of extensions, there's some you want for really specific instances, and you don't want them cluttering up your Omnibar at all points and all times. So so these are all the extensions I have, but they're not all loaded. So that one's kind of nice, especially if you use more than 4 or 5 extensions, because it does get kind of overloaded, at least in my opinion. And you can kind of shrink it with your Omnibar that way. If you didn't know that, and just use a drop down. But still, that list can get pretty gosh darn long. So, and I can't get it back. There we go. So Extensity, that's my second most advised extension to use, because otherwise you'll be like, that's just far too cluttered.
Blog this. Blog this is if you find something good, you can blog about it.
I don't know, to be honest.
You're just installing them for fun, then?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I think it kind of like works like pin to Pinterest or stuff like that. It allows you to you're on a site, you click on it, and then it shares that link to your blogger. So
okay.
I think that's what it does. But again, I probably installed it, I played with it, I hated it, and then instead of uninstalling it, I just hit it. So, all right, your turn.
All right, I think I have one more that I wanted to show. Now I have to get back to this. All right. And see, I was just doing the same thing. I was just looking at all my extensions, like, wow, I do have a lot of them. Many pages worth. The last one I wanted to show was AdBlock Plus. So this one will block ads on websites that you pull up. I'm trying to think of any off.
Go to Yahoo. That's probably the worst.
Yeah, I was like, what would have the most? It would be the most visible. So this blocks ads on websites, which hopefully makes them easier to read. So it's enabled, so it said it's already block 2 on this page. 3, now it's coming up with more, so it's blocking things so that I don't have them popping up at me all the time. It also works on YouTube, blocking ads on YouTube as well. So it's a good one to just have on all the time. It just makes life a little bit easier. So that is Ad Block Plus.
And you want to turn it off real quick and do a refresh on the page?
Sure.
You can actually just turn it on and off on the fly, or whitelist a page. I know Yahoo's pretty bad.
So they'll all come up like right here. There'll be a bunch of ads and come up further down.
Yeah, what's funny is I read a blog. It's called Slash Film. It's all about movie news and rumors and stuff.
Right.
And I have that on all the time, the ad block on all the time. So
Yeah.
one time I went to look at it somewhere else. I think I had it on Internet Explorer or something. And I was like, whoa. Like, I couldn't believe how many ads were just popping up all over the place that I never even noticed before.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
like
And
this.
not that we don't want to support the Red Cross, but
Right.
we don't need. I guess we don't need to see their ad all the time. So that's Ad Block Plus.
Sites go on overload with ads. It distracts from the actual content that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave, you got one more?
I got a few more. So again, if you guys just fill out that form, you can kind of get a little PDF with some links and stuff like that. So I don't have to feel like I need to go over it more. Kind of a little side note, the thing I really think about extensions that are cool is when you start not just dealing with Chromebooks, but we spend more and more time using web-based products and less time using, I think, specific apps. At least that's my daily experience. Extensions really allow you to kind of simplify your life with things that used to be kind of a desktop feature. Extensions kind of like add a little bit of functionality back. So it's a way to kind of make Chrome and that browser experience be a little bit more robust. So even when we're spending a lot of time on it, I think when you start using a Chromebook especially, you're kind of like, these make my life a little bit better. So this is one of those things, Google Dictionary. Actually, it's a Google product. This is a feature that you might take it for granted being in like the Mac operating system. There's like a special keystroke that if you like click on something and hit these keys, it'll actually bring up a definition of things, and you can actually have it read to you. So again, that's like a Mac OS kind of feature, but if you install this extension, you get the same functionality. So basically, if you highlight any text and double-click it, it'll give you a definition, and then you can actually play the word, it'll actually speak it to you, that kind of stuff. So kind of a nice feature that isn't actually in the browser itself. Let's see what's another good one. That's got Snagit, that was a good one. Tab, you did that one. Tab Scissors, you did that. Oh, Lazarus. So if you're ever filling out a form online, it's a multi-page form, it's really long, and all of a sudden your browser quits or you forget you're in that tab and you close it and you have to enter it all again. It's sort of like a clipboard for form fields. So if you have to fill out a form again, it kind of has a cached memory of the data you put in. So if you have to fill out a form a second time, or if you have to come back and fill it out because something was aborted, you lost internet connection, you have to actually remember what your answers were. It kind of caches that data. So that's a nice, pretty nice feature. Let's do like one more. This one you like. Which one's this called? Video Download Helper. That's the only one I found that actually still works. And allows you to download YouTube content to your local device. So this will actually, if on a Chromebook, it might download to your downloads folder, I'm not quite positive, but if you're on a Mac or PC, it'll download to your local device as well. So this is nice for actually appropriately borrowing content and actually putting it somewhere else, because sometimes having a physical file is actually quite valuable. So Video Download Helper. It's a little bit wonky, you kind of got to read the instructions, but it works. So that's kind of nice.
You guys have any last questions?
They want to go home.
Yeah, can you tell? Some of them have class afterwards, so they should just be here anyways. All right. I thank you both very much for jumping in and doing this for us. I think everybody pretty much gained at least 10 or 15 things today that they're going to be using. So thank you both, Melissa and David.
No problem.
No problem. And next week I want to see all the guys in the front row.
Yeah.
Got it, man.
All right. See you guys later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.